So I ran across this website, pickuptrucknews.com, talking about the new 2021 Toyota Tundra redesign. All these important changes. Really? Well, it says we're in for a lot of changes here. A totally new platform, totally new exterior styling, totally new interior, new drivetrains under the hood. Sounds exciting to me, so I ordered a 21 Toyota Tundra, and let's go take a look. Well, the Tundra is behind our secret door. Let's roll it out and see what we got. And here we are. It's a beauty. The media claims about a totally new Tundra for 2021. Not true. Same basic platform that we had starting in 2007. Not a bad thing. Completely solid and reliable. Same 5.7 liter V8 putting out 381 horsepower. Not that this is a bad thing. This engine runs forever. Even runs better and longer than the small block Chevy V8 that everyone raves about. That means it's in a good class. No, it's not as fuel efficient as the competitors, especially compared to the small Ford EcoBoost that gets around 18 to 22 mpg in the real world. This is rated at 13 to 17, which is pretty accurate. But trust me, that EcoBoost isn't going to last as long as this. Not even close. Don't get me wrong, I like the EcoBoost engines, but when they get around 150,000 miles, time to trade it in. All other trucks are going to automatic transmissions with 8 to 10 speeds. Toyota's sticking to this antique 6-speed. It was introduced about 14 years ago when the truck was, but again, there's an advantage called reliability. These transmissions just keep running and running. Very rarely fail. That's pretty important when you're using the truck out in the sticks in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to break down and walk. Still a good gearbox. For 2021, we get 6 trim levels. I won't list them all. It's on their website. This has the blackout package, which is why the large 20-inch wheels are blacked out grille, some other blackout features. It'll cost you $1,000 extra if you like the color black. We also tested and did a video on the 2020 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. If you like Toyotas, you're going to want to watch that. If you like big trucks, we also tested the Ford Super Duty F350, 800 miles. We'll have a link for these 2 videos at the end of this video. Just go to the end, click and watch, giving you 3 videos to watch instead of 1. The only real change I noticed are these headlights. They look totally different from the 2020. Could be wrong, but looking at the photos, they look different to me. These are LEDs, so let's take them out and see how they work. It's dark enough. Let's see what these headlights do. Here we have the high beams on the wall 100 feet away. Go to low beam. Doesn't reach out. I've been driving this in the city and noticed the short range on low beams, and I don't think this represents what the truck would normally do. I think it might be an alignment issue. So we'll have to check that out at the dealer. Definitely the shortest I've ever seen on a Tundra. And here we have the high beams on a building 300 feet away. Adequate, but low beams goes out about 30% of the way. We'll have to get this looked into. And here we have the high beams lighting up the stop sign about maybe a quarter mile away. Low beams really reaches the railroad track sign, which is about 20 yards away, which is 60 feet. That's pretty short. I've been test driving Tundras since the first year they came out every year, and I can tell you this is not representative of Tundra headlights on low beam. Obviously, some alignment is going to be needed. Toyota has the thickest owner's manual books on the planet. There's about 1,000 pages here. I did the reading for you, and it turns out on deluxe models of the Toyota Tundra, There's an adjustment knob to adjust the height of the headlights. I read all that so you didn't have to. So I'm going to readjust the headlights, and we'll take this out and do the headlight test over again. See, I did all the work so you don't have to do it yourself. That's why you should watch my videos. Good grief, this book is thick. You could kill somebody if you dropped it on their head. I guess this must be the dial on the right. I thought it was the light adjustment for the dashboard. Well, always helps to read 1,000 pages in the owner's book. Let's give it a go again. Okay, let's try this again. Raise the headlights. Now we're talking. I can actually see. Now we can do the high beams. Oh yeah. Big improvement. A gigantic improvement at 300 yards too on high beam. And the low beams go out around 80%. A big improvement over last time, which was, well, never mind. We got it working now. And before, we couldn't even see beyond this railroad crossing sign. Now it goes far beyond that. So now the headlight test passes 100%. The cabin in the Tundra hasn't changed much. It is not as fancy as what you get on the Ford F-150 and the Rams. On the other hand, it's definitely better than what you get on the Chevy and GMCs I've had. They really pinched pennies on those designs. But overall, clean, nice looking. No complaints, really. One thing I like about the Tundra cabins, they give us real, honest-to-goodness mechanical knobs. And large ones, too, so you can use them with gloves in the wintertime. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive knob, climate control knob, sound system knob for volume, sound system knob for tuning. I like knobs, so this interior makes me happy. And all the switches are large too. The large cabs have the seats that fold up, good for hauling gear. Also great if you're taking your date to the drive-in movie. On the deluxe models, you can lower the rear window so all the exhaust fumes can come in and poison you. Alright, just kidding. It's actually for air circulation in mild climates. Works pretty good, especially on a nice day like this. If you have a mother-in-law you don't like, just have her stick her neck out to see the view and oops. Alright, bad jokes. Sorry about that, Mom. The glove box has lots of room, but only if you take out the thick owner's book. The base price of the Tundra starts around $35,000 to $38,000, depending on which website you believe. But of course, the options always pile up. This price tag is typical of what you might see at the dealer's lot on the price sheet you see on the window. Of course, the Rams and GM, Chevys, and Fords have similar price tags. The difference is they give large rebates to get them off the lot. Toyota, not so much. Most of the trucks they sell are pretty close to the sticker. That's the price you pay for the quality and reliability. And the Tundra is the most reliable truck out there, and that's what we're paying for. Good resale value, too. When you look at the resale value of a Tundra compared to other brand of trucks, you'll get most of your money back on this high price. So, in the end, it works out about the same. That's the first half of the video, show and tell. Second half, we're going to go out and do some driving. That is what you're here for, right? The power steering system on the Tundra is better than most of the other pickup trucks I've driven. Not too light, not too heavy. Just enough feel, depending on the type of tires, of course. I don't think there will be any complaints. When it comes to ride quality, you can get a dozen different Tundras and get a dozen different results because you have long cabs, short cabs, big tires, small tires, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. This is the large Crew Max with 20-inch wheels and four-wheel drive. With that being said, let's take some speed humps at 20 miles per hour as we do in all my videos and see how the suspension performs on impact. And here comes bump number one. That was a smoothie. Bit of jumping from the rear, which you would expect on a light bed. Here comes number 2. Smooth again. Number 3. And then the big one, the nasty one. Felt it, but it was very, very smooth. I'm always reading these test reports or seeing reports on YouTube with people complaining about the jumpy ride, whatever that means on Tundras. I don't know what they're comparing it to. Seems like a comfortable truck to me. Yes, the Ram is slightly smoother than other trucks. I'll give it credit for that, but overall there's nothing wrong with the Tundra ride. Even with the TRD package. Toyota Racing Development, for those of you who don't know what that means. This is a heavy truck with sort of an outdated transmission setup, so 0 to 60 times are not that great, but this engine's pretty strong, so the truck still does pretty good. Moves out. There we go, got some wheel spin. Moves out pretty good, actually. The drive like this, the gas gauge will move pretty good too. Nice brakes. If you're driving on the expressway, the Tundra is reasonably quiet, aside from these giant mirrors that give some airflow noise, but other than that, it's quiet for a pickup truck. I prefer the TRD suspension myself. It provides more stability, more stiffness without compromising the ride, but you have to pay extra for that. We're already over 50,000 bucks on this one. I don't like opening gates, that's why I always bring a servant to do it for me. This is my secret hiding spot. Out in the middle of the desert and have picnic tables. How's that for weirdness? Rather than give you a bunch of boring off-road footage, it's to say the Tundra is more than capable in the dirt. Aside from its size, that is. On narrow trails, it takes up a lot of space. But it's a big truck. Out here in the middle of nowhere. It's a Toyota, so it won't break down, and I'll get back. Well, we got some ranch patrolling to do, and then we got to go into town and wrap up this video. Don't go away. If we don't get lost, then the snakes and bats will eat us. And I won't be able to finish this video. In 295 miles, we're averaging 14.7 mpg overall. That's highway driving, four-wheel driving, city driving. About the norm for a Tundra with a V8. For comparison, we drove a Ford F-150 with the 5.0 V8. Got 16 mpg in mixed driving. Drove a Titan with a V8 at 15.5 mpg overall. And the super big Ford EcoBoost 3.5. We got 16.5 mpg overall. So yes, the Toyota does use up more gas a bit than the others, but not really that much. Come on, let's hurry up on that gate. I'm in a hurry. Hired help is so slow and hard to get nowadays. One of the biggest gripes I hear about the Toyota Tundra is their price tag. Toyota dealers just don't discount much like the big three with their giant rebates. So let's take a look at some resale value here. Here's an example, a 2015 Ram, $13,500. A 2015 Silverado, $12,000. Oh, this guy wants a bit more for his Silverado, $19,500. Some fully loaded 2015 F-150s, $17,000, $21,000. And here we have a 2015 Tundra, $38,000. 2015, $27,500. And just to find some more Tundras that seem to be hard to find used, I went to Craigslist in Houston, the truck capital of the world, and there were no 2015 Tundras for sale at all. I guess people like them and don't want to sell them. I realize that if you're going to buy a Tundra, you're going to pay a bit more because they don't give the fancy rebates the competitors do, and they do use more fuel than the competitors if you get the V8. If you take the overall cost over 5 years, include depreciation factors and insurance, it doesn't really cost any more to own a Tundra versus the other brands. I've done the math, it really doesn't. And if you're going to keep your truck over 5 years or 150,000 miles, the Tundra is actually cheaper to keep because I don't want to say they never break down, but they're definitely the most reliable truck out there, and that can't be disputed. They seem to run forever. So if you've been thinking about a full-size pickup truck and you're scared off by the Tundra prices of fuel economy, don't. In the end, it's not going to cost you any more, and you got a good, reliable truck. You'll be a very happy owner. Here are the links to 2 other vehicles we tested and did videos on. Just click and watch. And subscribe. I need the gas money to feed these hogs.